Our process for creating a sales script starts with the product that you sell. We don't necessarily want you talking only about the product in your sales script, but the process to create a great sales script does start with outlining the product or service that you sell. In this example, we are focused on the product of health insurance. And the first step that I like to do is to outline the features that are included with that product. So I like to almost look at what is being sold as a box, even if it's not a physical product, even if it's a service. Try to view what is being sold as a box and then outline what is included in the box. What does the customer get? What is provided to the customer if they purchase the product? So with health insurance, what does the customer get if they buy this product from us? Well, if you're an agent, one thing they get is they will work with you, and you might be an independent and licensed insurance broker. And I just want to point out that I created this sales script and this example with an independent and licensed insurance broker. So a lot of this information is specific to him, and we created this sales script to upload it into the public library of the SalesScripter software, and I'm sharing the sales script here with you. So this information is specific to him, but if you do sell insurance, maybe this can give you some ideas of how you can create your own script. But one of the things that's included with this particular agent is that he provides access to most major insurance carriers, including a national PPO network. He takes each client through a needs and budget assessment process. He helps to compare premiums and coverage across numerous insurance carriers, ensuring competitive pricing options. And he helps to provide a custom tailored plan to the customer's specific interests and needs. He can help with both ACA and non-ACA options. He can help with coverage for dental, vision, accident, critical illness, and life insurance. And he is an available resource for questions and concerns. So that's just the brainstorming that we went through to kind of identify everything that's in the box that customers will get when they purchase insurance from him and when they work with him as an independent and licensed insurance broker. Now, once you outline what's in the box, I like to go a step further to think about how is this product or service different from the other options out there. And we know that customers have a lot of options for buying insurance. So what are some ways that this agent or this insurance is different from other options out there? Well, this agent specializes in assisting self-employed individuals, families, and small businesses. He can offer an alternative to the ACA marketplace and bring more comprehensive options to the table, often at a lower cost. He takes the time to understand clients' insurance needs and budget and then tailor a plan specific to their interests. And he has non-ACA plans that offer national PPO network coverage, which reduces out-of-network risks associated with typical ACA HMO network coverage. And premiums through him for non-ACA plans are typically 30 to 40% lower than ACA plans. So that is basically what he sells and how what he has to offer is different from other options out there. The next step in creating a sales script is to stop and think about who are we creating this sales script for? And if you sell insurance or any product, you likely can sell to different types of prospects, and you might factor that into the sales script that you create because you might create different sales scripts for different audiences. And in this example, we created a sales script for people that are self-insured. And once you identify that, then we want to think about how does the product that we sell help that particular audience. And what we're talking about here is what type of improvements does the product or service deliver for that particular audience. And to help with this, I often go back to the product that's being sold and go back to some of the main features and some of the ways that you're maybe different and think about how do those features or how does that differentiation help the target audience. And a little trick here or a little tool that you can use is that most products and services help in what I believe are 7 key ways. They either help to make something work better, help to make something easier, help to decrease the time it takes to do something, help to increase revenue or income, help to decrease costs or expenses, help to improve product quality, help to decrease the risk of something bad happening, help to improve visibility or access to information. What you can do is you can use this list of common areas of improvement and look at your features and your differentiation and each item one by one and say, does that particular feature help in any of these ways? And And if it does, try to think of a way to explain the improvement that that feature or that differentiation helps with. And so when we went through this process, we came up with a few improvements, such as this broker can help people that are self-insured to select an insurance plan that best fits their needs at the lowest possible price, to clearly understand all of the available health insurance options, to access a wider array of health insurance options, to decrease the time they spend comparing options and pricing, to decrease the cost by going through a non-ACA coverage plan, to have a plan and a provider that's more flexible, to decrease the risk of not having the right coverage or paying too much for insurance. So these are the improvements that this agent can deliver, and this is the value that he has to offer. And the next thing to think about is, what are the pain points that this agent or this product or service can make go away for the target audience? And our goal here is to think of some challenges or concerns that we can make go away. And here's a trick. We can bring back the improvements that we just came up with, and for each improvement, there's usually an opposite challenge or concern or pain point that that improvement can make go away. So we can look at each one by one and say, what is the opposite of that, or what is the problem that helps make go away? And when we're going through this, we still want to keep in mind the target audience that we're creating the sales script for and the challenges or concerns specific to that particular audience. And what we can do is we can look at each improvement one by one and try to think about, what is the opposite of that improvement, and what problem goes away when we deliver or create that improvement, or what problem starts to happen if that improvement is not provided. And so if we look at these one by one, we come up with some challenges, such as health insurance is complex with all of the different providers, plans, and pricing, and it can be difficult to find out which health insurance plan is the right choice. And there are many plans outside the ACA that people don't know about or have access to, and it can be time consuming to compare all of the different health insurance options and prices. And ACA plans can be more rigid and difficult to work with, and money can be lost by either not having the right coverage or paying too much for the insurance policy. And the next step in the process is to think about good questions to ask. The best salesperson is the one that asks the best questions, and here's a process that you can use to figure out the optimum questions to ask for your product or service. And the first step is to brainstorm pain questions to ask, and those are questions that probe to see if the prospect has the challenges or concerns that we just came up with. If we just came up with a good list of pain points, then we should ask at least one question for each pain point. And if we keep in mind the target audience that we're creating these questions for, what we can do is we can look at each pain point and think about, what question could we ask to see if the problem has that challenge or concern. And for each pain point, we can create a question. And so if we go through these one at a time, how do you feel about understanding all of your options regarding insurance? How concerned are you about choosing the wrong plan? Have you looked at any non-ACA plans? Do you have enough time to compare all of the different health insurance options and prices? How do you feel about the prices of the ACA plans? How important is it for you to have a more flexible plan? Not only do we want to create pain questions, but we also want to create current state questions, which try to gather information for what's going on with the prospect at the particular time that we're talking, and creating questions for our target audience of people that are self-insured. Now, every set of current state questions will be different for every product and service being sold. So I can't tell you exactly what your current state questions should be, but what I can do is provide areas that you should probably ask current state questions about, and here are those areas. Does the prospect currently have, or have they purchased what you sell? Who is the current vendor or provider? Any gathering details on the current systems or processes, people in the organization, current contracts and expiration dates, any size details, current performance and stats, the last time that the prospect evaluated other options in this area. And so if we look at these common areas regarding health insurance, here are some current state questions that you might want to ask. Do you currently have health insurance? What insurance company are you with? Do you know what kind of network coverage you have now? Is it PPO, HMO? What is your current premium? What is your deductible and coinsurance? How old are you? Are you self-insured or do you get coverage through your employer? What type of insurance do you have? ACA, Marketplace, or something else? Is this plan just for you, or are there others that will be on the same plan? Do you have any family members that also need coverage? How many family members do you have? What ages are they? When would you want the coverage to start? Do you ever reach your deductible? Do you prefer a high deductible or a low deductible? Have you set aside funds for emergency medical expenses? Do you or anyone on the policy use tobacco? Do you travel much? Do you or other applicants have any pre-existing conditions? Or have you had any medical procedures in the past 5 years? Do you take any prescription medications? Does anyone in your family expect to get pregnant in the next year? Any DUIs or felonies? What are you looking for, or what is important in the plan that you purchase? What would you like to do with any savings that you might experience through non-ACA coverage? So those are some current state questions that you could ask. And the next step is to think about a customer example that you might share as part of your sales script. And here is a tool that you can use to create a very brief customer example that you might be able to share. First, think about a customer that you helped that's similar to the target buyer type. What problem did they have that you helped to solve? What did you sell them to solve that problem? And then think of 2 improvements that they realized by purchasing from you. We worked with a small business owner. They were having difficulty figuring out which health insurance plan was the right choice. I was able to help with that because I'm an independent and licensed insurance broker. I helped them to clearly understand all of the available health insurance options and help them to select an insurance plan that was the best fit for their needs at the lowest possible price. Now, once you go through all of those steps and have all of those groupings of bullet points, you can put all those together to create what we would refer to as building blocks. So you have a value points building block, a pain points building block, a pain questions building block, and so on. And once you have those building blocks, it's really easy to create a cold call script because you can just stack those blocks together as a way to structure the different things you talk about. And you could also use those building blocks for a first appointment script where you might start out with your current state questions and maybe then lead to some pain questions and ultimately lead to talking more about the product that you have to sell. You can also use those building blocks to create email messages. And here's a way to actually use those building blocks to create a 6 email campaign. You can also use those building blocks to create voicemail messages. Now, if you actually want to see examples of all of those documents, of the cold call script, of the email messages, of the voicemail scripts, you can actually grab all of those today out of SalesScripter, because what we've done is we've loaded up all of those answers into our sales message builder, and there's actually a sales message already loaded up in our insurance library for health insurance, along with a lot of other insurance products. And if you go to SalesScripter and load up your account with that health insurance sales message, you will have all of the answers loaded up that I just showed you. And what that does is that creates a whole library of sales scripts. For example, you have cold call scripts. You'll also have an appointment script where you'll have all of those questions and all of those pain points already laid out in an outline of how you can use those for talking to someone. You'll also get all those email messages loaded up for health insurance or any other insurance related product that you grab from the library. So if you want to actually get those scripts, the best place for you to go is salesscripter.com. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.